Welcome to FineScale Modeler Weekly.
Welcome indeed. Rolling in from ICM, our first kit this week is a 1/35th scale Type 320 Cabriolet.
This Mercedes-Benz two-door, four-seat car was widely used as a staff car by the German Army.
Now ICM's kitted the hardtop Type 320 before. This kit is the first convertible.
Not a curbside kit, it features a decent replica of the straight six power plant with the block and transmission, heads, exhaust, and more. It fits into the frame with the rear axle, differential and drive shaft, front suspension, and fuel tank. Sharply molded two-part wheels sandwich slim vinyl tires.
The floor pan with integral fenders mates with the body sides, firewall and windshield, hood, radiator grille, and rear. Individual clear panes slot into window openings with alignment tabs to keep it neat. Light lenses are also included.
In addition to bench front and rear seats, interior detail includes side panels, dash, and controls. This kit only allows the top to be posed stowed, and it builds from 4 sections plus the braces.
Decals give gauges for the dash as well as plates and flags for 4 vehicles. An overall black car in France in 1940, a sweet two-tone blue car from a Luftwaffe unit in 1940, another overall black car on the Eastern Front in 1943, and a Panzer Gray car from a night fighter squadron in 1943.
Beautifully molded and marked by good detail, this should build into a pretty replica of a pretty car.
Convertible and all. Next, a small-scale British C-Class cruiser.
The HMS Colombo in 1/700th scale from Trumpeter.
As far as we can tell, this kit represents the ship after it was refitted for anti-aircraft duties in 1943.
This is one of Colombo's last rolls after being launched just after World War I.
This waterline kit has a one-piece hull above the boot stripe with fine portholes and other features. The deck sections show plank details, and much of the superstructure is provided in slide-molded sections.
Fixtures like masts, davits, boats, guns, funnels, life rafts, and more are finely molded. A small photo-etched metal fret gives funnel guards, deck supports, and radar dishes.
Color painting diagrams show Colombo in a disruptive camouflage pattern seen in photos of the cruiser in 1943. The decals supply ensigns and jacks for the ship.
Coming in at about 8 inches long, this is not a big model, but there's lots of detail.
Yeah, can I say that it's packed to the gunnels with detail? Academy has been on a roll lately, reboxing good kits from other manufacturers,
including this 1/72nd scale Horten Ho 229, a kit that started life as a Revell Germany offering in the 1990s.
This flying wing was revolutionary in World War II, but it never entered production.
Molded in gray plastic, the airframe parts show fine recessed panel lines and a few raised rivets, although the wings, largely made of plywood on the real thing, are mostly smooth, and the nose with the engine intakes is a single part.
The cockpit features frames, seat and instrument panel, and there are detailed gear legs, wheels, and wing structures, as well as engine elements and guns.
Masks are provided for the wheels and clear parts. Decals designed by Cross Delta supply markings for 3 what-if aircraft, a German fighter bomber, a German night fighter, and an Ho 229 from a Japanese Army evaluation unit.
The Horten is a perpetually popular aircraft, and this is a nice kit of it.
Keyed by fine details and nice marking options.
So who here hears a Horten in their future? In time for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, Round 2 has released a TIE Interceptor under the MPC branding.
To be clear, this is not a reissue of the Snap Together kit originally released in 1983.
In fact, this Interceptor has more in common with the TIE Fighter kit released under the AMT branding by Round 2 a few months ago.
So you get the same body, interior, including pilot, hatch, and framing that kit had. New are the Interceptor's solar panel wings and Round 2's typical black dome stand with posable head. No decals are included, but the bottom of the box has illustrations to help paint the model.
I've always considered the TIE Interceptor to be one of the prettiest of the Imperial fighters, so I can't wait to get my hands on this. It's going to go right to the top of my must-build pile.
Also from the Star Wars universe is a reissue from AMT.
It's the Naboo N1 Starfighter as seen in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
The same design, although heavily modified, became the main ride of the title character in the 3rd season of The Mandalorian.
Molded in color and engineered to snap together, this could be a good introductory kit.
The upper body and part of the wing, as well as other engine parts, are molded in yellow. The lower body, forward section of the wing, and the R2-D2 head are chrome-plated in keeping with the Naboo aesthetic. The canopy and the upright arm of the stand are molded in clear. A small decal sheet provides stencils and markings for a single ship, as seen on the bottom of the box.
The N1 is a sleek, graceful fighter, and this kit should produce a sharp replica of it. Star Wars fans are going to be happy to see it on shelves again.
Look for reviews of the Mercedes, Colombo, and TIE Interceptor on FineScale.com.
A great place to go for thousands of other reviews, how-to stories, videos, galleries, lots and lots and lots of stuff.
And hit the Kalmbach Hobby Store to get your FineScale Modeler metal sign. It's the perfect way to show your love for the magazine in your workshop, office, or bedroom.
FineScale Modeler Weekly, brought to you by Hobby Zone USA, your source for hobby storage solutions, hard-to-find hobby tools, and aftermarket modeling needs, and by Cult TV Man's Hobby Shop, the place to go for science fiction and fantasy kits, decals, details, and more.
So the scale modeling hobby has never been shy about adopting tools that are useful from other crafts and hobbies to its own ends. And one of the really cool tools that I have at my workbench, and some of you probably have at yours, are punches, specifically leaf punches. They came from the scrapbooking hobby, and you can go online and you can find punches of all sorts of shapes, right? Stars and little cute things. The leaf punches have been super useful for those of us who like to do scenes and dioramas, or just even put some leaves around the model to show that a subject has been sitting around for a little bit. And I wanted to just share a couple of those punches that I have at my workbench with you. 4 of them are right here. These are all from Green Stuff World. Now, you can go online and you can find punches from a variety of different manufacturers. Some within the model hobby, and then some just like within crafts, right? And like I said, you can define those with all sorts of different shapes. These leaf punches I have here punch out multiple leaves for each punch. You can find leaf punches that only punch single leaves, but if you're trying to do a bunch of leaves for a model, well, that's probably not the most efficient way to go. So I like these. These are color-coded for the leaves that they make. While I can maybe say that that's a maple leaf, and that's an oak leaf, I'm not necessarily super versed in all the different kind of leaf shapes for all the different kind of trees that are out there. So I went ahead and labeled my punches. You can see here, I've got maple, poplar, sycamore, and red maple. Pretty nice. Oak, I can recognize these, but there may come a point when maybe I can't. Maple leaves, all maple leaves. And then on this one, I have beech, elm, birch, and medlar. I'm gonna say that I don't know what a medlar tree is, and I'll go look it up right after I'm done filming this. So what's cool about these then is that you can go and head out to the yard, find a leaf, and go ahead and punch. I'll use the maple punch since this is a maple leaf. I'll use the maple punch. Does it matter what kind of leaf you use? Probably not, but it's just that easy. I'll move it a little bit, do a little bit again. Oh, look at that. Look, we've got some leaves already. Punch it again. Some more leaves. I know, you're thinking, okay, Tim, what the heck? I just find that it's a neat tool, very interesting to, or therapeutic, I guess, to use. But in short order, you can get yourselves a number of different leaves of various shapes. And they're going to be appropriate really for 1/35th scale, even 1/24th, 1/25th scale. You're going to be just fine. But look at how quickly we are gathering a bunch of different leaves of different colors and consistencies. Do you have to use leaves for the punch? Absolutely not. You can use paper. You can use metal foil. Whatever floats your boat when it comes to making the leaves. But then look at these. And right here you can see all the leaves that we've, in just a few short seconds, have created with these punches. You can go ahead and you can paint these if you need them a certain color. Later on in the year, if you fall, as the leaves start changing, you can gather up some leaves and you can punch or keep them around and then punch them as you need them to suit whatever is going on in your model scene. Do you have to worry about the leaves deteriorating? Well, these green ones are probably going to change color as they dry down a little bit, so I would probably paint them. But you don't really have to, beyond that, you don't have to worry about them deteriorating really too much. Any of those sorts of supplies that you're going to buy at the store that represent leaves, like from Knock or from Woodland Scenics or any of those other supply companies, they're all probably going to supply you with some sort of natural vegetation anyway to represent leaves. So you're just taking out the middleman and doing it yourself. Anyway, they aren't absolutely necessary for you to enjoy modeling, but I really do think they're a neat component in addition to your modeling workbench.
Don't forget to enter the FineScale Modeler June sweeps for your chance to win $1,000 worth of kits from the likes of Tamiya, Airfix, Revell, ICM, and Atlantis. Go to finescale.com/June sweeps to enter now.
I was at a show the other day, and I was talking to one of the attendees, and the conversation turned to something that we've been talking about recently, kit pricing and getting kids into the hobby. And one of the things that he was wondering out loud was, how does a parent or an adult who doesn't know anything about the hobby, isn't part of the hobby, when they're confronted with a kid who sees a kit, grabs it and says, hey, I'd like to build this, what do they do? How do they get into, how do they help the kid start building that kit? And this is his figure for under $100. And I think we could do that for under 30.
30 is going to be more of a challenge, but I think it's possible.
What do we need?
We're going to need the basic tools, I think, are a hobby knife, something to snip the parts off the parts trees, and something to sand those parts smooth.
And then the kit itself.
And then the kit itself. Yes, that would be helpful.
Okay, I think we can do this. And so if there's anyone out there who isn't part of the hobby, or if you know somebody who isn't part of the hobby, maybe you show them this, because let's go to the store and see if we can do this.
Let's do it.
We can do this. So, kid comes walking down here, says, oh, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, look at all this stuff. Hey, can I build this? Well, let's go find out what the price is. $15.99. Why not? Well, go ahead and we do a knife for $6.49. We're just over 20 bucks right now. Not too shabby. We need some flat nippers. Now, you don't need to always have the ones that look like pliers. These right here are going to do the job just fine for $3.99. And then lastly, we need some sanding sticks. Right here in nail care, we've got fine, extra fine, and coarse and medium grit for $1.29 each. I think we've done it.
Well, we did it.
We did.
Obviously, we were at Target, a big box store, a place where we knew their head models. So it seemed like a good place where somebody who might not be into the hobby is going to have a child, their child, a grandchild, a niece or nephew encounter a model kit for their first time unexpectedly and go, oh, I really want to build this. This is one of my favorite characters, and have to figure out how to make it work without leaving the store, because that way the kid's not going to be disappointed when they get home and not have the tools to build it.
And it can be done, and it can be done for, economically.
Right.
If you're in a hobby store, you probably already have experience with, if not modeling, with some other hobby that would be at the hobby store. So you'd already know what you're getting into. We didn't talk about paint.
No.
And we didn't talk about glue.
No, we were looking at a snap kit, pre-finished like the Bandai stuff. For that reason, because it's a logical first step to building a model. Now, if you're going to build up to painting and glue, then that's another step in the process.
Right, yeah. Painting and glue, for those of us who are experienced in the hobby, seem like just natural things to have around all the time. If you remember back to when you were new, I remember back from when I was new, and I was given that first kit, and I was given glue, and then it was a disaster. It was a disaster, and my dad, like, okay, let's go back to snap kits first, and then we'll go from there. So, glue and paint, that is that next step, right? That's the evolution.
Sure, and obviously what we would hope as people who are in the hobby and wanting to promote the hobby is that after that kid, whoever they may be, has built that model and maybe another one the next time they go to Target, that they're going to go, hey, I wonder what else is available, and then maybe they head to an actual hobby store, and that's when their eyes get opened to not only the full expanse of the model kits that are available, but all of those cool tools that
That
modelers crave.
that we really like.
Exactly.
And I think we did it for under $30. The $100 limit. I mean, if somebody gave me $100 to start somebody off, I'm going to be able to get them, hobby grade tools. They're going to be pretty well set up before we even get to the kit.
Right.
And then you don't even have to, again, you can go with a $15 kit, a $20 kit, and then really have all sorts of other bells and whistles that a newbie isn't necessarily going to need or even know what to do with initially. But it can be done economically, getting into the hobby and promoting, the fun that we all are here to experience.
Exactly.
So
why we're in this to begin with.
that's right. Thanks for watching. Share this. We'd love to hear your comments. You can share them below or
Email them to editor@finescale.com.
and let other people know. If you know somebody who's their kid has shown interest in the hobby and they aren't necessarily sure what to do, share this video with them. We would love to help out and get more people involved.
Maybe you're looking for a present for a birthday or Christmas. It's a perfect way to set up one trip to Target and you've got everything you need.
There you go. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Oh crap, we're more recording. I'm kidding.
I feel like originally, that did not have energy behind it.
Next, a small-scale C-class British cruiser. Acting.
Okay. I was at a show the other day. The other day.
Is this the real life?
Is this just fantasy?
Different band.
I actually do know my Star Wars ships. Like, I grew up with them. I love them. I love them all.
You freaking
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Perfect.
Yes, you were.
Thank
I'm
you.
just gonna go beat my head against the wall.
How did I start this off? I am not using the turn over a new leaf joke. No. No.